Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Controllers Katanas. This week, you are joined by me, Marty O'Cool, here as well, Ian aka Relic. And this week we've got a special 1 year anniversary for you, a special episode just for you. And we're going to discuss all the shows we've watched during our podcast over the past year of doing it. We're going to talk about some experiences later, but we've got a nice little tier list for you. So we're going to get straight into that. And we're going to start off. Ian's going to let us know what the first one is. And we're going to rate it.
A bit different. As you can see, it's not your typical S, A, B, C, D ranks. We've gone for, essentially, if we would rate this show a 9+, an 8+, 7+, 6+, or if we rate it the bin, mate. So there's probably not going to be many 9s on this. There's going to be a couple from me. Definitely, but we're going to kick it off because it's fresh. We've just finished it, and the new season starts very, very soon. Fire Force, a nice little anime that we've been watching. We've caught up to it, and yeah, Fire Force season 1 and 2. So it's Fire Force as a whole. We've watched both. We've talked about both seasons on this podcast. It has great animation, great sound design, very creative. Decent story. There is fan service in a lot of it, Tamaki. I'm looking at you. It does let it down at times due to a lot of serious moments can be ruined by Tamaki losing her clothes. But overall, what are you saying, Mark? What do you think Fire Force deserves in your eyes?
Right, Fire Force for me, the characters, great cast of characters throughout. I think it's going to be, for me, an 8.
I've got it down as an 8. I've got it down as a low 8 for me. It wouldn't be like an 8.8 or anything. It's probably round dead on 8. But yeah, I've already listed my points. But yeah, it's very entertaining. It's fantastic shonen anime, and you should watch it. It's good. It's very good.
And we've obviously watched it over a series of podcast episodes. And watching it quite, like a couple of episodes at a time. Maybe sometimes some weeks 4, sometimes 3, just to finish it off. To get ready for the new season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the journey so far. Shinra, main character, great character. You have other characters like Arthur, Benamaru, Burns, Obi, Maki. There's so many good characters in it. And there's rarely a few terrible characters in it. One I don't really like is Giovanni. You don't like Maki's brother. But yeah, apart from that, great show. Definitely recommend it to anyone listening in.
Yeah, awesome. On to the next. Yeah. Another one another show that starts fairly soon. Windbreaker. So we watched Windbreaker season 1 as it was coming out. Season 2 is due out imminently. That'll be out pretty sharp as well. We'll probably be talking about Windbreaker new season at the same time we're talking about the Fire Force new season. For this one, I loved it. It was a fantastic short anime. I loved the art style. The cinematography was great. The choreographed fights of this one was very good. The season did peak at the Shistoran fights. The last few episodes after this almost fell out of place a little bit in some spots, but I did enjoy them. And obviously the way it ended was very good. And it could easily get up into the 8s for me, personally, depending on the second season. But I have currently got it rated at probably like a 7.8 out of 10. And that's good, don't get me wrong. Anything rated high 7, I think's fantastic. But what are you saying, Mark? What are you saying about Windbreaker?
I agree about the 7. Like I said, another show with great cast of characters. I can't remember his name, but the dude with the specs, the mental guy, I can't remember his name now, but like his changing character through the season, like that episode where he switched. Like, well, this guy's actually a really good character, great fighter as well. But yeah, I totally agree with the 7 on this one. But like I say, seeing what happens next season, it could easily go into an 8, maybe a 9, but I think an 8 for next season. But yeah, it's just a show, like an easy watch show. If you're into like loads of fighting, it's chilled out. it's like school versus school kind of thing. School kids fighting other school kids, protecting their town. That's what it's basically about.
Yeah.
But yeah, another great one to watch.
Think of Tokyo Revengers, but good. That's what I'm going to say. I'm
Good.
going to catch some smoke for that, probably. Now, we're going to go on to our first live action show. Not the first live action show we spoke about, but one of the most recent live action shows we spoke about. The Penguin.
9, mate.
100%. I've got it high 9. This is one of, I mean, we said it at the time, this is one of the best TV shows I've ever watched, just in general. It's very, very well written show. Some great twists. The perfect setting for a DC project, in my opinion, this day and age, especially to compete with the likes of the MCU and Marvel. The acting was phenomenal throughout, and you are quickly taught that he is a villain. 9 out, literally, it's probably a 9.6, 9.7 for me. This show is so good, so good. Now this is where
in the show, there's like you say, like the show's called The Penguin, so you think the show's like leading to like the guy, and you're like, yeah, he's all right. Yeah, he's obviously he's got loads of problems from his past and stuff like that. Then, like I say, you're quickly reminded, no, this guy's a villain, mate. He's a villain in the DC universe. He's a villain, mate. You know, let's not forget that. And what he does at the end, I won't say anything if you're going to watch it, but yeah, it's very good.
Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. On to the next, Demon Slayer. Hashira training arc specifically I've put down here because we haven't discussed any other Demon Slayer on here, bar the Hashira training arc. I don't know if our opinions will differ on this one. I always enjoy Demon Slayer. It's always great. The animation's always phenomenal. It's always got likable characters. It's always got very, very likable villains as well. The villains are typically fantastic in this show. I'm trying to look at this from a different perspective. I did have fun this season, right? But I thought this, in my opinion, this was the weakest season so far. If you take out the final episode, the final episode alone, it'd be a high 9 easily, and I can justify it being a high 9, but I can't justify the entire season being in a 9 because of one episode. I've actually got this season at a 7, mate. I'm not even going to lie. It's a high 7. I'd go about 7, 8. I did enjoy it, but my problem is with Demon Slayer. I try not to compare anime with other anime, but if there's multiple seasons, like I'm comparing this to Mugen Train, and Mugen Train's a 100% 9 out of 10.
Season.
It's 100% 9 out of 10, and the last 2 seasons have just not been it. What this entire season could have been, the entire season that they brought out could have been 3 episodes, like genuinely could have been 3 episodes. And don't get me wrong, it was hilarious with some absolutely fantastic bits. I could put it in an 8, to be fair. It is Demon Slayer. The first 5 minutes were absolutely spot on, and the last episode was unbelievable, wasn't it? Let's be real.
I think we should put it in 8 just for the fact that
I'm putting it in 8.
7, but the last episode, obviously.
Yeah, and we did have Michael Jackson in there as well, didn't we?
But the thing is, I liked about this season was like I mentioned before when we was doing a rating our top 5 shows or whatever. Hashira, seeing the different Hashiras, like the different characters, what they can do and stuff like that we've been waiting for all this time.
Yeah.
To see them training up, obviously, the main characters, like it was so good to watch. But the final episode was so good.
It was so good, mate. I'm so sorry. It's so sick.
And the movies to come from that it's going to be so good. Like easily a 9. I think these movies are going to be a proper 9 out of 10 action.
Got to be, mate. They've got to be.
I remember we was discussing the last episode there on podcast, and was so excited. We were so stunned at how good it was. Like the final bit with
it was fantastic. It really was. I mean, I will give it an 8. To be fair, like you say, it's nice to learn about the other characters. It's just in terms of how the manga goes, they literally could have filled all of it in like 2 or 3 episodes, and we could have probably got a lot of the Infinity Castle stuff already done in this season. But
Yeah.
I understand they've obviously their plan was to drag this out for a season and then release movies, which is fair enough. They need to make money, but yeah, it could have easily been a 9. Now onto our next live action show.
Yep.
I'm trying to find it here. I can't find it anywhere. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where's the dude with the tattoo on his back?
Yeah,
I don't even know if I've added the picture to this, to be honest with you.
You know.
I don't think I have.
Have a look, see if I can see it.
What's that?
No, I don't think it's on there.
And have I? Right. I'm going to add it now. I don't care.
Yeah, so the show we're on about, if you've worked it out, the tattoo on the back, it is Like a Dragon, the Amazon show, which it's never getting an 8, let's be honest. It's never getting a 7, let's be honest. And I don't think it's going to get a 6, to be honest.
It's going to be
in the bin. The reason why is it was such a poorly done job of, if you ever played the Yakuza games, it was such a poorly, it was just terribly done. I thought, personally, from my opinion, Ian will be the same. Obviously, Ian's not played the games, but yeah, it was bad. It was bad. So yeah, it rightly deserves to go top of the bin, mate. Top of the bin.
You know what?
3-pointer.
Let's go back. Let's keep this how it is. I'm going to go onto OBS. I'm just going to manually add a picture in. Image.
That'd be the easiest way, yeah.
Add the image. Browse where the file is.
What do you reckon to Like a Dragon, Ian? What's your opinion on it?
I have got opinions, mate. I must admit.
I'm glad to hear that.
I will discuss them shortly. Yeah. My brain just doesn't work right now.
Let him get his picture up.
So essentially, my thoughts on that show is that I thought it was crap, mate. If I'm honest with you, like the problem is with it is that I was going on from an outside perspective, so it's just typical Amazon, mate. It was poorly written for starters. It didn't do enough to teach somebody like me who hasn't played the games about the world. So obviously it was quite confusing at times to follow. And the fights were just okay. There was a couple of alright fights, but majority of the fights were just boring. And I just overall I just didn't think it was a very good show, to be honest with you.
I mean, there's an Amazon show. Amazon show we'll discuss later, which does like introduce you nicely into the world. Like from coming from an outside perspective, but this show didn't do a very good job of that. It literally throw loads of like Yakuza families at you, like, oh, this guy's from here, this guy's from here, this guy's from here. It's like, what? Like if you're coming from like you haven't played the games, you're like, what is going on? Like, what's cracking off?
Genuinely had no idea what was happening. So
and the character in it.
The character is the worst.
Yeah. That worst mum in the whole show, terrible. Remember her? The one who
it was a cretin, mate. She was, wasn't she? Actual cretin, she was.
And then you think she's dead, and then she like comes back, and then you're like, bloody hell, what happened there?
Like, what are you doing?
I'm intrigued to get your thoughts on the next one. To be honest, Blue Lock, season 1 and 2.
Blue Lock season 1 and 2. So, I'm just still putting Yakuza in, Like a Dragon in the bin, mate. Oh, okay. So he's in the bin now. He's there. He's staying there. Permanently in that bin. Blue Lock Season 1. Awesome. Loved it. Really good. Really enjoyable. My issue with Blue Lock... Mate, anyone who follows on social media, I was fuming at Season 2, mate.
That time period was like flapping it. I didn't
I
find
was
that guy
fuming,
was
mate. Even
found
that
out.
mate pissed me off. Like, why have Bandai allowed it to happen? That's what's annoying. Like, I'd have rather just waited like an extra 6, 7, 8 months, whatever, to make sure it was done. Because again, the last, I mean, this is different to Demon Slayer. At least all of Demon Slayer's episodes were enjoyable before the last episode. Some of these episodes were hard to watch because there was just, it was literally like a simulation game where it was just pictures and talking, and that genuinely is it. That's not me exaggerating. It was just so difficult to get immersed into it and enjoy it. Obviously, the final 2 episodes were fantastic, and that final episode was just absolute peak animation. It was so well done, an absolute perfect ending. But again, this time has passed. I cannot justify. I can't justify it being higher than Windbreaker, if I'm honest with you, mate. Like, I actually think it was a 7 overall, just because season 2 wound me up so much. I could put it in an 8. Like, season 1, to be fair, was fantastic. The last episode of season 2 was really, really good. It's just, if all of season 2 was the same, it would have been just like a high 8. Like, I'd have rated it very, very highly. I could put it in an 8, exactly 8 out of 10.
I think it should go. I think it should go in an 8 because obviously season 1 was really good. I wasn't too bothered about season 2. Like, I don't know if it annoyed you a lot, but
it just
towards the
annoyed
end
me
of
because,
season 2,
mate, Bandai, they've got so much money, mate. Like, I don't think these studios should be let off for having a poor final product, mate. For the most part, like they had so much time between season 1 to get season 2 right and do it well, and that final episode that annoyed me more than anything because it proved the final 2 episodes really proved that they could have just done that throughout, and they could have had such a fantastic, like a really, really good end product, and they just rushed it and they didn't do it, and it was just frustrated me. But
that bit where Rin turns into that monster, mate. I was like,
but yeah, the final 2 episodes were awesome, and season 1 was great. So I'm happy to put it in an 8.
And like that was just literally like we started watching that because I think I was like, I've started this like football show because I fancied a football show. Football, not soccer, by the way. Football, and
football.
But then we started watching it, and obviously we really enjoyed it, didn't we? And I know it's massive
cool.
now, so really enjoyed that one.
American Primeval. Now this
was good.
This was a Netflix short show. Well written, gritty, shocking moments, very realistic moments as well. Really realistic setting. Really enjoyed this one. There was some great acting as well in it. I've got it as an 8.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Like you said, like the director, I can't remember his name now. I mentioned it in one of our podcasts, but he deserves an award, mate, for this because he captured it so well. Like,
so good.
If you were to imagine you're in a Wild West setting, he captured it so well, and how dark it would be, and it was good, mate. Even Green Goblin, mate, got his head chopped off. Well, the top off his head chopped off, mate. He was still walking around like a zombie head, but he was
he was in tatters, that man, wasn't he?
There's like, someone just please kill him off, please.
Honestly, he was minging every single episode. He was grim, wasn't he? Just got worse as it went on.
There's one bit in the wilderness one that's like monging out against a tree or whatever. I was like, it's literally like Walking Dead right by now. Get Daryl to put an arrow in his head, mate. But yeah.
Just do him in.
Great show. Taylor Kitchington is the main character.
Yeah.
He did a fantastic job as his character. Isaac. Yeah, so yeah. Very good show. And if you haven't watched it, watch it just to see Mingin head.
Moving like a dragon a little bit because I know there's other things to go in the bin, mate. Right, the next show, another live action we spoke about, Bloodhounds, where we finished that quite recently. It's an old one, 2018, I think that came out. It's a South Korean show. I've got it as an 8. It was a fantastic show, some gripping moments, and some of the best fight scenes I've seen in live action in quite a long time in this show. It was just really well done. And we all know the South Koreans just do it different, mate. They always do a really good job of it. So yeah, I've got it in a high 8. I'd actually probably rate it equal to probably American Primeval, maybe a bit higher, to be honest with you. I really did enjoy this, if I'm honest. Really did.
And again, like the fighting in this, if Like a Dragon did the same thing, that'd be up on our ratings. But because the fighting was so shocking in it, I think like the best move in Like a Dragon was the roundhouse kick he did on that guy's head. But that was literally bad. But this Bloodhounds, which is back this year, by the way, season 2, such a great show to watch. But yeah, the fight and the characters, South Koreans know what they're doing, mate.
It's so good, mate. It's really good. Really good. I mean, the thing is, Like a Dragon, it just weren't written very well at all, either, was it?
Yeah.
Right, next one. Have I added this? Yes, I have.
Yes.
Elusive Samurai.
What are your thoughts on this one?
Overall, it was a fun watch. It was some really funny moments, because the funny moments always seem to have like been met with really gory, like insane moments straight after. The animation was really good on it, I thought. The story just wasn't all that in depth, I didn't think, and it wasn't as well written as other things. I have got it in a 7. I don't think it necessarily deserves a 6 because it weren't rubbish. It was pretty good, but I'd only just give it a 7. Like a dead on 7 out of 10, I'd give it. I just don't quite think it deserves a 6.
Yeah, like I think like because obviously we watched it together through podcasts and stuff, it made it a lot more better because obviously pointed out different things and stuff like that, which made it more fun, I think. But if I was to watch it on my own, I think it probably would be a 6.
Yeah,
because obviously I'd just be like, it'd just be like a quick watch, like, oh yeah, that's good, it's done now. Though, like, but I think because we watched it together, we pointed out and had a laugh over some of the funny scenes, but then obviously people get their heads chopped off the next minute. Literally, I think from comedy to gore. I think
a second season will have a lot more potential from it. With obviously how the story's gone and stuff like that. So hopefully they can fix some of the issues that they did with the writing of season 1. But it was pretty good, mate. I enjoyed it. It was good. The animation was actually stunning, though. To be fair, it was very well animated. I'll give it that. There was some really good moments as well, like the part where he was on that horse having the bow and arrow fight, mate. That was sick.
Remember that bit with the guy with the ears and the guy with the eyes, or whatever? They're both on the same horse together. That really like Brokeback Mountain.
To be fair, mate, it deserves a 7, mate. It was funny, wasn't it? It was a funny show, man. It really was a funny show.
It's just that bit then random. Like, what is going on here?
Mate, I don't even know if I've added everything. Oh, yeah, I can see the next one as well. Dan is my next one.
Good show, funny.
Yeah, wacky show.
Bizarre.
Very, very well animated again. Something different to what we had been watching. So it was quite refreshing in a sense. It was a little bit different. Some really heartbreaking scenes, some really emotional scenes, obviously with the Accra episode. Phenomenal episode. Some really, really funny comedic moments. Really easy watch as well. I'm actually excited for the next season. And dubbed on day 1, mate. Massive. I would
give
like
season 2.
I would give Dan a 8. It would be a dead on low 8, but I could also give it a high 7. It nearly did make my top 5, to be fair.
Yeah, I put it an 8 into. It was a good show. I just want to show that Turbo Granny in this show when she went into the cat doll, mate. That was
so funny one.
Character, mate. It's such a good character.
Sick that character is. But yeah, I think this is another show where the second season will outdo the first season. So I think it's only going to get better from here. I think with Dan, if I'm honest.
And they left on such a cliffhanger, but obviously the second season's coming out so quickly.
Yeah,
from the first season,
so
which
you can almost forgive it, can't you?
Yeah, I don't mind so much with that one, but
so I have actually added Sakamoto Days to this, mate. Shall we talk about it? And shall we talk about Solo Leveling Season 2? We're very close to finishing them, really, aren't we?
You've got pictures for them?
I've got pictures for them, yeah. I've added pictures and everything for them. So I obviously intended to speak about them, mate. So,
do you want to talk about Solo Leveling as a whole? Or just
yeah, we'll do Solo Leveling as a whole. We'll do Sakamoto Days first. because that's on my list first. So Sakamoto Days. Really enjoying this show so far. It's finished now, but as of recording this, we've got one episode left. It's very funny, well animated, really cool, really cool fight scenes actually in it. Some parts of the story is lacking in terms of an overall story, but it always leads to really funny moments, like the last episode we've just watched with the bathhouse moments, mate. It was just dead random, but it literally just had me in tears, like really funny.
Yeah, proper goofy in it, yeah.
I recommend it, to be honest with you, to people as well. If you're getting into anime and you want something a little bit silly, a little bit goofy, this is one of the ones to watch. Plus, again, one huge thing, dubbed on day one, mate.
And season 2's coming out this year as well.
And season 2 comes out in July, I think, part 2. So there's 11 episodes this season, or this part. It's not season, it's part 1 or whatever. And then part 2 will come out this year as well, so we'll have a lot of content for Sakamoto Days this year. I just don't know where to rate it, to be honest with you. I could easily go into an 8 with Sakamoto Days, but then I look at the caliber of what's in 8. Do you know what I mean? And then I also think about Windbreaker. Because Windbreaker, I actually really loved Windbreaker, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, was it better than Windbreaker for me? It was better than Elusive Samurai, but was it better than Windbreaker? I think I enjoyed Windbreaker more, you know? What are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, if it was to be put in a 7, I'd say a high 7.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's like a 7.8, innit?
But like you're saying, if you're looking at the other list and you're seeing things that you thought was better than that, should it be put beside that or below that? You know what I mean? Like, with Windbreaker and stuff like that. So I'd probably say high 7. Though it could be easily an 8, like I say. But if you're looking at stuff that's already there, and you're like, it wasn't as good as that, but
I'll put it next to Windbreaker in the 7s. Now let's get on to Solo Leveling, season 1 and season 2 as a whole.
9, mate.
It's 9 straight away, mate.
We haven't finished it yet. It's like 2 more episodes, 3 more episodes
we've got left. Yeah, it's insane show, mate. Consistently fantastic animation wise, always gripping, insane fight scenes, some touching moments in it as well, which we've got recently, which have really sort of changed the series up and made me like it even more. And it's one of it might be recency bias, I don't know, but it's certainly one of the best animes released recently. And if I'm honest with you, it's a fantastic first anime, I think, for people to watch. It really is. Really is so good. And this at the moment where we are with it, obviously by the time you'll be seeing this video, it's finished. This season 2 is finished, but nobody is safe. Like, they've just started. The stakes have just gotten a lot higher, and people are getting murked left, right, and centre, mate. Like, properly getting murked.
You know what I loved about this show as well, like, because it's obviously an RPG, like RPG cave. It reminded me of like Diablo, all them kind of games. Like,
proper dungeon crawler, isn't it?
And like, it obviously that's brought people in. Like, obviously we mentioned before, Josh, who's on the podcast, was on last week when this comes out.
Yeah.
That kind of got him into it because he loves like Elden Ring, Diablo, stuff like that, and that kind of brought him into it. And obviously, it's one of his favorite animes. He thinks it's his favorite anime, and rightly so. It's such a good anime, and every episode so far has been decent. Awesome. And again, a great set of characters in it, lovable characters, and some great animation fighting as well. Big bosses. That's all you need. That's all you need from an anime. All you need.
Oh, 100%. Now, the next one is a live action. Super sort of hero related. It's The Boys, but specifically season 4. When we was discussing this, I had some mixed reactions to some of the stuff in this series, in this season, should I say. Yeah. I thought it was one of the weakest seasons of them all so far. It got a little bit weird in some parts. I did enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I did enjoy the season. It's still The Boys. It's still likable. And if I'm totally honest with you, though, if it weren't for Homelander, this wouldn't be a very good season at all, in my opinion. Homelander really made this season like consistently good because his character is phenomenal, and certainly in this bit, and his character arc in this, and obviously the way he's snapping and changing, it made him so good. Butcher's character, I didn't really like Butcher so much this season, and a lot of the stuff that they're doing is just a little bit lackluster, obviously, with all the, I don't know what they're doing. I forgot what they're doing now. It was like, not like a mere thing, but it's like a campaign into it. Then they've got like, oh, we've got these versus these. We've got fucking, what's her name? Starlight. It looks like a skeleton at the moment in real life, but got her, and like, she's just boring this season, wasn't she? Her character was just pointless this season, mate. Like, I don't know.
An alien has come down to Earth. Starlight, that's what she was like. It's gonna do. Yeah, I agree with that. Homelander is literally carrying the show.
He's carrying it, mate.
There was some funny bits in it, like when Homelander goes back to where he was, the lab where he was like made or whatever, and starts murking them all off. And that was literally really gruesome as well. But
I think the writing weren't as good this season. It weren't as well written. The pacing weren't very good. It was a bit slow, some of the episodes. It literally is just being carried by one character at the moment. And it's hard for me to rate something so high based on that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and like Homelander, unhinged Homelander, mate. This.
Yeah, like I feel like season 5 is going to be better than season 4. Just because of how it's led up, and I appreciate season 4's probably just been a little bit of a story build season where you're just introducing a little bit more, and obviously everything's escalating a little bit to reach a certain point, and that does happen in shows and obviously in movies and all that sort of stuff. That's fair enough. You do expect that, but this has been the worst season of The Boys so far. Not to say that it belongs in the bin or anything, but I'm just saying it weren't as strong as the others. I've got it as a 7 personally.
Yeah, low 7. Yeah, I'd say low 7. No, not low 7. I'd say
no. I've got mine's about 7.6. I have, yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly would say it's below Windbreaker and Sakamoto, but it would be above Elusive Samurai, I think.
Yeah.
Now the second, I don't know why I said second. The next live action is what I meant to say. Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, I enjoyed this compared to other Star Wars shows that we'll mention later.
Yes, which we'll talk about next, actually.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I thought Jude Law's character was great in it. As soon as the show's about pirates, I'm instantly, that's for me, mate. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. There's a lot of kid. Like, I was a bit nervous at first because obviously you saw kids in it. A lot of kids.
What I did like about this show, though, I actually quite enjoyed that. In a sense, because obviously I've got kids of my own, and a lot of us people that are into Star Wars were kids when it came out, and it's typically a lot of people that are really, really into Star Wars. They love the original trilogy. Don't get me wrong, but like myself, we grew up with Episode 1, 2, and 3, so we're used to sort of that sort of stuff. And the problem is that the latest Star Wars movies, everyone knows they're abysmal. They're awful. There's some okay moments, but overall they're really poor. So the next show, we'll talk about that in a second. I'm not fuming about it still, but Skeleton Crew, I feel like it did a really good job of introducing a younger audience into that world, which I appreciate, because obviously it's nice for me to show stuff like that to my son, and I've watched it and I know it's friendly for younger audience. I probably wouldn't rate it an 8. It was a good show, don't get me wrong, as a standalone. But... Yeah,
when I was talking about the kids as well, like, you know, when you see, like, when we saw the trailer, like, oh, there's the kids in it, like, oh, it could be bad, like, it's kids, but like I say, they did a really good job, Yeah,
overall the cast was great. It was fun. It was really Goonies-esque, wasn't it? We tend to think most times. But yeah, where would you rate it?
I'd say a 7, yeah.
7.
I'd put it a 7. Right. For this next show we're about to discuss, in my notes I've just put wank.
It's already in the bin, mate. We only watched 3 episodes. I don't care what anyone says, and if we get flack for this, it was shit. The writing was abysmal. Most of the acting was okay from certain characters.
In it. Yeah.
To be fair, the main girl, she weren't a bad actor. Her character wasn't well written. It was just poorly written. So I kind of felt for her a little bit. But the episode where all them women are in that coven, mate, and they're chatting shit for 45 minutes or whatever it was straight. Mate, that sent me. I was in tatters, mate. After that. I was fuming after that episode. I literally messaged Martin. I says, mate, we'll talk about this, but that is it. We are done. Like, there's no way I'm watching any more of this shit. It's so bad. It was so bad, mate. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, on podcasts, we don't. If it's a crap show, mate, we'll literally let you know, and we won't watch it.
If it's in the bin, mate, we're not talking about it.
But I think the one good thing about this show was the guy. I can't remember the actor's name. From Squid Games.
The main character from Squid Games.
Yeah, he was in it. He learned English for the role, and I kind of feel sorry for him because his character was such a good character that I hope, like you discussed, we hope it comes into another, like the Star Wars universe, it comes into like another show, maybe Skeleton Crew or something like that. But yeah, I felt bad for him because his character was such a good character in that story, but the story was wank, mate.
Oh yeah, it was so bad, so bad. Like, so bad, mate. I hate it. I hate thinking about it. It's ruining my life.
Should we move on before we stop fuming?
House of Dragon. House of the Dragon, I think it's actually called, but I don't know. Season 2.
House of the Dragon.
It was pretty good. There's some really good moments in this, I thought. My issue with this is that I felt like it was quite all over the place. The season was fine as a whole. It had a load of like 6.8 out of 10 episodes, in my opinion. A load of 6.5 episodes. But then it had 2 very, very good episodes. And one of the episodes where, was it Rhaenys, I think her name is, she has that massive fight and perishes, mate, on the dragon.
Oh, yeah, that was elite episode, that was.
So good that episode was. And Damon as well, he was very, very good in this episode. In this season, sorry. I thought his sort of like character arc and what was happening to him and how he was sort of like being manipulated in a sense. I thought that was a good storyline. But there's just loads of characters in it, mate. I just wish to get murked off. Like, the pacing of the show as well felt really slow in some parts. Like, some of the episodes felt like they was going on for like 2 hours, mate. And I did find myself drifting quite a lot when I was writing notes and things like that. But I loved Game of Thrones, mate. When me and my wife got married, we literally had a Game of Thrones style wedding. We had like a Game of Thrones wedding cake and everything, mate. Like, I love this world so much. Like, and I think the next season is leading on again. I keep saying it, I've said it so many times, but the next season is leading on to a lot of good stuff with how it ended. I have got it as a 7 for this season as a whole. But it is a high 7. I did still enjoy it. I do love that world as well. But I'm open to discussion on this one, Martin, mate. What do you think?
Like I said, the elite episodes, I think one of them was the one where the dragon chooses his new owner. That was such a good episode as well.
Yeah, but they're all inside and he goes in and rushes, doesn't he? He's got that. What was his name? What's that bloke name?
Hugh Hammer, isn't it? There's the guy he picks.
No, it's you, but no, I'm on about the other one. Who's a twat.
Oh yeah, he gets picked by the other one. Oh, what's his name now?
I can't remember his name now.
Is it the White?
Because he's always in the pub, isn't he? Like, I'm related to them. I am. Blah, blah.
But that episodes I thought were really good. It's obviously the whole of it was literally like building up to the next part of it. Where obviously this is like the Dragon Wars kind of thing. They're trying to find these dragon riders. There's a lot of stuff where Daemon was in that haunted castle thing, like on drugs when he a lot drugged up by that. Well, we think it's the witch woman, don't we? But
we still don't fully know. I don't think.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. If it was to go in a 7, it'd be a high 7.
I've got it down as a 7.8 personally.
Yeah.
Overall, but I could put, if you think it's an 8, I could easily put it in an 8. That's fine.
No, we'll leave it high 7. I think next season will be, when it ever comes out, probably about 5 years' time. But I think that will be, now they've got all the Dragon Riders picked, and this war continues. I'm looking forward to seeing what cracks off with these. Because I'm thinking the guy on the bar, I can't remember his name, the guy in the pub. That guy, I think he would turn to the other side because he's a bit of a.
Oh, he's an arsehole, isn't he? Yeah, he definitely will, mate.
Yeah.
He definitely will. But the thing is with me, when I think of this world, I think of Game of Thrones. I'm not going to talk about the last season, but Game of Thrones as a whole is fantastic.
Yeah.
I got married before the final season came out. I just want to point that out. But yeah, I love that world so much. I love those worlds in general, Lord of the Rings, that sort of stuff. Absolutely love the like medieval fantasy type worlds. Are like my favourite things ever. So yeah, I'm naturally just going to gravitate towards enjoying the show in general. To be honest, I think. Right.
Right.
For those about to die.
We call this show for a time those about to snore, didn't we?
Yeah, because it was just boring, mate. It was just to be fair, realistically, Like a Dragon and this, we could have quit. There was times where me and Martin, like, I messaged him like, not sure, do we just do it? And it was like, we've got 3 episodes left. I was like, do you know what? We'll just fucking slug through it and get these 3 episodes done, mate, because it's smirking me off, pal. But
yeah, like I remember the first episode. This literally like straight away, like here's 100 characters, boom, in your face, like what?
Who's who?
Why is it an orgy? What's going on? Like, what's it? But yeah, it was dodgy CGI with a lion.
Yeah, it's proper dodgy CGI, mate. One day I forgot about all the dodgy CGI. It's your typical Amazon rubbish. But there were some good scenes. There was 2 really good characters. Like the main character, forgot his name, but he's the guy from Skins, and he's also Ramsay Bolton. Not Skins, Misfits, and he's also Ramsay Bolton. His character was fantastic. And then there was the black woman as well. I can't remember her bloody name now. Cora or something, wasn't it? Her character was really, really good as well. I did enjoy both of their characters, to be fair. But it's hard, when you're watching a shit show, it's almost like, do I only like this character because the rest of the show's so poor that I find this character good, or is it actually a good character? Do you know what I mean? Like, you're a little bit manipulated by the fact that the show's actually just rubbish, that they might not even be a good character.
Yeah, like it's like they throw 100 people at you, and when some people, like loads of people get murked off, you're like, oh, that's good. Now I don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? Like it's like you're wishing people to die. It's like what's going on here? But I did like the scene where like in all these shows where it's like a baddie, and he gets his comeuppance. It's like is that bit where the guy is a bit of like a villain, like a bit of a snaky guy. He gets put on that boat, doesn't he, with all them like crocodiles or whatever, and he gets munched up, mate. I was like, that was satisfying to watch. But yeah, some of the characters in it was dust, mate. They didn't even need to be in it. Like the 3 brothers, the Spaniard brothers, mate. Nah. There's no point for them being in it. I mean, obviously they had that Circus Maximus thing in it, but yeah. Season 2 will probably come out. But the character in it
doesn't, mate. Literally just cancel it, bro.
Demission, mate. The only guy in the show I wanted to die.
Survived. I hated him so much. So much, mate.
I mean,
he's such an annoying character.
Do a short about it as well, when he dies.
Right. Where is he? In the bin, mate. Go on.
Yeah, after that, I'll rate it as in the bin.
Mate, it's Like a Dragon one a bit bigger. There it is.
Talking of Amazon shows. Fallout. What we're saying, Fallout.
Best video game TV adaptation ever made, I think. Honestly, fantastic. My wife watched it with me as well. She says a lot. So, she enjoyed it. Where have you got this rated?
8, high 8. What about you?
I've rated it as a 9, mate.
Yeah, high 8's 9. You just put it 9 if you want.
To be fair, thinking about it, it's probably not. It's probably better suited in 8.
It's not as good as Penguin, is it? Let's be honest.
I think my problem is writing this list down is that I went from For Those About to Die to then Fallout, so I'm naturally just that pissed off about talking about and thinking about For Those About to Die. Fallout just instantly sung its praises. But yeah, I think it's more fair. It's probably like an 8.8, I'd say, out of 10.
Yeah,
It's probably a fair rating. I think it's top of the 8 category at the moment. Over Fire Force and American Primeval, personally, even though obviously I'm not slating any of the shows there because they're all fantastic. But yeah, this was just
different shows, though, aren't they? So,
it was just fantastic, mate. I really enjoyed it.
And like, I think like Jonathan Nolan in this, he did like a great job of like writing and directing this.
Yeah,
like
legend.
Like we mentioned earlier with Like a Dragon, like people who are coming who haven't played the games or don't know about the franchise coming into it new. Like a Dragon was just like it didn't cater for them. But I thought this show literally like new people coming into it straight into the storyline. Didn't need to play any of the games. Even though people who played the games, there was obviously nods and stuff like that from the world. But yeah, I thought it was a really, really well put together show.
And the new season comes out this year as well.
Yes, we'll be discussing it on podcast. So join us on YouTube.
That we will.
Subscribe.
We will.
But yeah, high 8 for me.
Right, I'm going to let you rate this one, mate. Squid Game Season 2. I've said my bit on this show, right?
Yeah, but I want to hear it again because it's funny.
I'm not going to discuss any more of it, but it's just nothing compared to Season 1. Like, I don't...
Yeah,
in my opinion, I honestly would have been happy if they just didn't release it. Because I was perfect. The way Season 1 was, I was fine, mate. That was it. I was happy with that. I was content with that being my Squid Games content for the rest of my life. There was some good moments in this, though. The brawl was good. I thought the ambush with all the guns and stuff it turned out to pretty much be mostly a waste of time, let's be honest, anyway. But some of the games were great. Thanos was great in it.
What about the carousel game?
The carousel was, I actually thought was one of the best games, to be fair, on Squid Games. I've actually rated it in a 7, I'm not going to lie.
I've got high 7.
Yeah, I've got it in a 7. I'm not going to completely and utterly discredit it. I just, mate, the ending needed to get murked off. That was so dumb. The way that the end of this season just...
I liked it. The guy in the black mask, the bad guy, I thought...
Yeah, he was great. Mate, the acting's phenomenal. It's South Korean, mate. Most of the acting's great. The druid shaman lady, hated her. She was crap. Loads of crap characters in it, don't get me wrong. But Squid Game Season 1, for me, this is probably like a 7.2 for me. Where Squid Game Season 1 is probably like an 8.6. Do you know what I mean? Like it's night and day, the difference between the two. And I appreciate that you haven't got that sort of... With Squid Game Season 1, you had that sort of... not knowing. You didn't know. You had the element of surprise. You didn't know what was coming next. You didn't know what was going to happen. But obviously, we know what to expect from the games and stuff now. So, yeah, they could have made this season a bit longer, maybe, or cut down that last episode, and it would have been better. But yeah, overall, I've got it as a 7 in the 7+ category.
Yeah, the voting scenes as well. The voting scenes, literally.
Forgot about the voting scenes, man.
It's like high 7, it starts going down to 7, like low 7.
Mate, I'm putting it on the Skeleton Crew. I don't care.
But yeah, but like I say, like some of the characters in it, I did like the mother and son.
Yeah, they was funny. The mum was quality. The son was like South Korean Leonard from Big Bang Theory, but the mum was a very good character. She was really good. And even the race where the legs tied together, that was good. Yeah, that was a good one because it was like a mixture of different games. But yeah, it just could have been so much more, I think.
Yeah, Season 3, I think, will be better.
Plus, doing content on it is a nightmare, mate, because TikTok ate it. So
you did one. I didn't like it. I did one, like something totally different. Didn't like it either.
Yeah,
that Squid Game.
And then I kept seeing ones with like 40,000 likes, but mine was so much better. Do you know what I mean? Like, I hate to say it, mine was loads better.
I see that on TikTok all the time, mate. Some dumb videos get like millions of likes. Like, how?
Now this is one that I completely forgot we watched. Suicide Squad Isekai.
That good, yeah.
Now I look back at this after obviously some time, some other shows we've seen. This was actually a really bad show, mate. Like it weren't very good at all. Like the story was so shit. The
I've got it
writing
six,
was.
yeah.
I've got it. It's the only one I've got in 6. Like the writing was pretty awful, but it did have some fun animation. It did have some fun parts as well. But I genuinely completely forgot this. I very nearly put it in the bin, mate. I'm not even gonna lie, but it just isn't as bad as the likes of Acolyte and that sort of thing. And because the animation was good and it was characters that people already know from the DC world, and there was some really good comedic moments. To be fair, there's some funny bits in it, weren't there? But overall, mate, I forgot it. Looking back, I was thinking about. I was like, that was actually proper shit. That was, wasn't it? Like that was shit, mate.
Yeah, I think like when we was discussing it, I think like when we was talking about it, it's like you know, because in an isekai world, but it didn't really like push it that much. Like it was just like random characters no one really cared about. Like in this world, you like obviously there's like other shows that literally push this like the fantasy of it and stuff like that. But in the show, it didn't seem like that. It was just like I mean, Harley Quinn in it was good. Don't get me wrong. Some of the characters.
Yeah, Clayface was fantastic in it. To be fair, he was a really good character. They would have. I think they'd have done better making a Suicide Squad anime that wasn't an isekai.
Yeah.
Like just made it actually in like the DC world, like the Creature Commando show, that animated show that came out last year with the proper DC one under James Gunn. Awesome, fantastic show that is. But yeah, it's the I put it in a 6, mate, as well.
Terminator Zero.
Terminator Zero, I've got as a 7.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It was good. It weren't a bad show at all. There was some good story points and characters. Overall, it did seem to get progressively better each episode as well, I thought. But it just weren't. It was nothing groundbreaking. Do you know what I mean? It was a good watch, but it doesn't fit into the category of like Demon Slayer and Fire Force and that sort of stuff. And I still probably enjoyed Windbreaker more. I'm probably enjoying Sakamoto Days more than I enjoyed Terminator as well, to be honest with you. But it was still good. I'd probably give it a 7.4, 7.5 to be fair. Mid
yeah, I mean, I did quite enjoy the show. It was different from what we were watching. Obviously, Terminator's a big franchise. The first two, which are the best ones. But yeah, I thought it was good. Like to have it as an anime, I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
And like I said, the animation was good in it, and the Terminators were good and stuff. And what gets like, what we find out as the story progresses as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was a progressive story, wasn't it? It's something like every episode you learned something a little bit different and a bit new, and it just got a little bit better and better as time went on. Also, it did have the world's shittest dad in it, didn't it? So, do you know what I mean? Now,
I'll see what's on this next.
Cobra Kai season 6. For those who do listen to the podcast and follow us, we've recently finished this. We did have to watch it in, I think, was it 3 parts?
Yeah.
So we've been speaking about it for probably about 7 months, 6 months or something like that as a whole. I'm very torn on this show in terms of where to put it. I nearly put it in a 9 this season, mate.
It's 8. I think it's I8. Like 8.9.
I settled for 8. I put down, my note was 8.8. The final part of this was my favourite, and not just my favourite part of this season, but my favourite part of all of Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
like, it had some of the most emotional scenes, some of the best acting from the likes of obviously Johnny, what's his name, William Zapka, innit? From him and even Kreese, and some of the best fights the show's had to offer, mate. The fantastic fight scenes in this show, and the way it concluded, everyone's stories pretty much given. There's a couple of characters here and there, like Kenny, for example. He seemed a bit wasted in a sense, but the way it ended and the closure, it's made me content. Like, I'm happy with how it ended now. I'm happy if they never revisit that. I'm good to leave it as is with no questions. And most of the questions I did have got answered. And even with Kenny and stuff like that, the characters that didn't really get their conclusions, you saw them at the dojo because they're still in school, so they're just still training in school and doing all that stuff. So we might see a little bit of something in the future. I don't know, but for now, I'm really happy with how this show concluded, and yeah, it was honestly phenomenal, wasn't it? Mine, the final scenes, seeing them all come out with Cobra Kai gis on, stuff like that, full circle for Johnny, full circle for Miguel. It was their show from the beginning, and yeah. Honestly, fantastic, really fantastic.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like the closure in it was so good, like, and the fighting and the acting was just so bang on. I mean, I watched it. I've watched it from the start, all of it. It was so good. But I do agree with the final parts of the season 6 especially.
Yeah,
really did a good job. Really good writers for the show.
Yeah,
so
it was just perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, hot take. I would rate this show better than any of the Karate Kid movies. Like, genuinely. I think this show is so much better than the Karate Kid movies. And they were good movies, and they came out in the 80s, so it's a while ago. But they were the fantastic films, don't get me wrong. But this show was just, the way it was written and everything was just on a whole nother level, mate. So good. And that leads us up to our final project, the final thing we spoke about. Was this one of the first things we spoke about? Early on, wasn't it?
Yeah, early on.
And it's getting a new season.
Nobody loves you though.
Nobody got you the way I do.
I was saying one lyrics, but yeah.
Kaiju number 8. The master of dubbed on day one, mate. Apart from the last few episodes, which was random. However, I fucking loved this anime, mate. I really, really, really loved this. This was one of my favourite projects so far. I'm loving Solo Leveling, don't get me wrong, but there's something about Kaiju, mate, that I just really, really enjoyed. The comedic value of it. I love the characters. The animation's fantastic. Obviously, the action in it is really good. The way the story's progressed is really good. It's just an overall fantastic anime. And it's probably one of the main anime now that I will recommend to people to watch if they want to get into anime as like a first anime.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wouldn't rate it as high as Solo Leveling. But I'm so looking forward to more to come on this, mate. It's so good. It's very, very good.
Let's drop in Ashina as well. What a character. What a character. That information sort of some like
Dracula, mate. Legend, bro.
He pulls out these 2 blades as Scott's going to work as that.
Yeah, you got Mina, badass. And then you've got Shinomiya.
Who's that dude that's coming in the next one?
And then you got the one with the pink hair or whatever his name is.
He's got like a glaive weapon on it. It's like, he looks sick, he does. I can't remember his name now, but
I'll find it, mate.
He's coming next season. But Kafka, what?
Ichikawa, mate. Even Ichikawa's a legend, isn't he?
Yeah.
Ichikawa's a top shag, mate. Top shagger. Right, who's this geezer? Gen Narumi.
He looks like he's going to be.
Remember he put his
words to Kafka's neck and like, do you want me to kill him now? And I was like,
do you want me to kill him now? What? No, mate. But yeah, some of the story arcs on this, really loved it. Fantastic. I have rated it as a high 8.
Yeah, I've got that.
I hazard a say here, and I say I actually like Kaiju more than Fire Force. But I could be alone in that. I don't know. It's just overall, it's just a really great show
for me. But yeah, like nothing. Like I don't really compare the two. Like which one's better because they're both really great shows.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of terms where to put it, you see, on the 8 board that I've got.
Yeah, just put it anywhere, mate. Just put it. I'll put it high if you want.
There, mate. Just put it next to Fire Force. It's probably equal to me.
Yeah.
But that's it. That concludes our list, mate.
We've got many more to come. That was just the first year, and we've watched all them shows. Like you've seen, shows that we think are crap will just drop. We did persevere with a couple of them, but going forward, I think we'll probably.
Yeah, if we're not if I watch 3 episodes or something and I really haven't liked any of the episodes, we'll just simply not watch it. I feel like 3 episodes is a good amount of time to give something.
Yeah, and obviously, if you're watching these episodes and you don't enjoy them, like talking to people about it, like your opinion and stuff, it's like yeah, they want to know your opinion, but it's like if it's crap shows, you're just slagging it off, and it's like it's not enjoyable to listen to or watch.
Yeah, it's boring, isn't it? I guess after
It's like-
unless people like that, then let us know, and then we'll just watch nothing but shit shows all the time, just slag them off. That's going to get the views in.
Like, if you want the side thing, like we just watch like really random crap films, it's like yeah, that was this was funny. Yeah. That could be a thing for the future, but people put a crap show in, we watch it, and we're like, yeah,
Yeah, or
this is
put a
what
crap
we're gonna
movie in, and we'll just like,
yeah, like
and what we'll do is we'll do a watch party, and we'll just react to it, and record the entire thing, and we'll just cut it down, reacting to parts of this like crap movies and stuff. That's a good idea. If you like the idea of that, let us know.
yeah.
And if you do like the idea of it, let us know what movie. We'll watch something. It'll be funny.
Yeah, and any movie, besides porn, any movie, we'll watch it. I don't know, we'll review it. Or react to it and stuff, yeah.
I hope you all think we are fairly rating stuff as well. I don't want to sit here and be one of them people like, nah, it's 9 out of 10, that's 9 out of 10, that's 10 out of 10, that's 10 out of 10, that's perfect, that's perfect, that's perfect. Even Solo Leveling is not perfect. Even The Penguin is not perfect, but they are bloody damn near close. And you can see we've not, even Cobra Kai, mate, I could have literally shed a tear on that final part, but we just obviously try and take it in whole, and we're trying to fairly say, look, although we do love these, we do also appreciate that some people don't, and there is flaws to shows. We're not dumb enough to not see what the flaws to certain shows and stuff like that, and we'll always be honest, we'll always try our hardest to fairly rate stuff and fairly talk about stuff. Suicide Squad Isekai was probably actually talking like it was all right back in the day, but it was crap, mate. It was genuinely not very good when you start looking at other content. Other content that you're talking about. We obviously had a bit of a dry spell, I think, during that time. We must have, I don't know, but yeah. Overall, though, I hope you enjoyed this tier list. This was 1 year of Controllers and Katanas, so I hope you've all been enjoying the content so far up to this point. We've been enjoying making the content up to this point. We're just going to continue to do it. We're not trying to do it to become famous or big. We're just two mates who want to have a chit chat about the stuff we enjoy, and we just thought we'd just record it for people who are like minded and also enjoy that stuff, and maybe want a bit of a community to go to and discuss them things with. So yeah, get in the Discord, follow us on all the socials, and next week will be a banger. We've got a lot of content coming next week.
Yeah.
So there'll be a big ass podcast next week, guys. So yeah.
Okay, that's it. Another good show. Another good podcast done.
Peace and prosperity.
Godspeed and all that jazz.
And all that stuff. As always, love you, bye.